Gotta have that mindset. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Inez. Everything attached to me wins. Sometimes you literally gotta put your hands on yourself, on the stuff that you possess, and say, man, you are a winner in everything, right? I ain't even got to my notes yet, but it's crazy, man. Like some of us take for granted some of the stuff that we got. I don't know wherever y'all are right now, but kind of look around, right? If you're in the car, just kind of stare at the steering wheel. Well, kind of keep your eyes on the road, right? But like, look around. There's a time you didn't even have that thing, right? There's a time that you was praying for the stuff that you live in today. And when I say live in, I ain't just talking about your house, but there was a time that you was praying for the stuff that you got now. Man, God, I really need this job. I ain't even on my notes yet. It's gonna be that kind of morning, right? Right? Some of the stuff that we was actually begging to God for, we have it in our possessions every day and take for granted. Take that stuff for granted. God, I really just want a sound relationship, right? Here, on another note, look, I ain't even picked up my notes yet. If God actually revealed to us some of the stuff he keep us from just in a day, you don't need a song like "It's Your Winter Season" to worship, right? You don't, man. If God actually showed you that wreck that happened 8 minutes before you got there, right? If God showed you how your name could have came up on the layoff list, but it didn't this time, right? Right? Like some of the stuff that we take for granted, right? Woo, all right, right? It's just that kind of morning already. Um, Man, I put it on the IG that this might be one of the deepest discussions that we had yesterday. Let me go back. Yesterday, the topic was the art of getting back up. If you just now got on here, you wasn't on here yesterday. Let me show you what the graphic was yesterday. The graphic yesterday was see if I can find it real quick. Boom. Right. Yesterday's graphic was the art of getting back up. Right. We were just talking about three things, that we have trouble getting up from. Some of them is our past, some of them is our success, and a lot of them is our loss. And then when we start talking about the loss, man, when we start talking about the loss, the conversation took a whole turn, which brought me to today's topic, right? Right. Um, and here's what's crazy is what I feel. Here's what's crazy is I actually wanted to make today's topic. And thanks to JB, he told me this long time ago, man. Sometimes, boy, you can expound on some stuff instead of go through that thing. Today joint is a two-parter. So if it's your first time on here, you walk in on a good one. There's two parts to this mug, right? And y'all know me, man. I've been saying I'm gonna write this book called "The Bible is Better Than Netflix," because you know how you can watch Netflix and mess around and binge watch all 12 episodes because it's just be that good. But some of these Bible stories are better than Netflix. Drop that in the chat. The Bible is better than Netflix for my new people. Don't steal the name of my book, please. We know you was on the Zoom. Nah. But here, today's topic is that right there, right? Today's topic is this right here. What makes you weak? What makes you weak? I sent that to some people. I sent it into some group chats. I sent it into our group chat, right? Thank you, Melanie. All right, what makes you weak? It's rhetorical. You can drop it in the chat. You can open up the microphone and say it. What makes you weak? Right? Today is a two-parter. I already had the graphic cover in my brain. Jen, we need to talk. You know you're a strategist, girl. Right? And I'm gonna use the Netflix logo so they can come for me. That's why I'm gonna do it. Anyway, right? It's a question that we rarely address on what makes you weak. It's crazy because when I asked that, all 22 of us thought about something that a lot of us won't say. What makes you weak is a conversation a lot of times churches actually avoid. We can play songs like "It's My Winning Season," "Everything Attached to Me Win," motivational joints. Yes, yes, motivational joints, right? Right? But a lot of times churches avoid the part that makes you weak. A lot of times. Maybe not your church, but a lot of churches, right? In fact, I wrote it like this: in job interviews, we done trained ourselves how to combat that question. Usually that question, y'all done had a job interview. That question come at the end of the thing, right? They be like, so what are your weaknesses? Y'all remember that question? Yes, yes, right? And if you don't practice, you learn, you done got so smart at that question, you done learn how to flip that mug and tell them about a strength that make you weak. Yes, yeah. Yes, yeah, we done practice them. I mean, when they ask me this, I'm gonna hit them with the right? Here's a good example. I wrote it. One of my people that just don't like, that don't get along with people all the time, my people who introverted, who like to work by themselves, who ain't a team player. Yes, yes, right? If that's your weakness and they go, man, Marcus, what's your, David, Curtis, Cat, what's your weakness, right? You might mess around and say something like, man, I'm self-motivated. No, you don't like working with people. That's what that means, right? I'm a self-starter, right? Man, I like, you know what? My weakness is I like to focus on projects by myself without distraction. Yes, yes, right? We learn how to not even speak our weaknesses to people because we don't want nobody to know where we weak, right? Here's what else is crazy. A lot of times, to ourselves, we clearly know where we weak at, right? Clearly. Some of us can be shamed for what make us weak. Yes, yes. I was thinking, of course, I can give you an easy analogy. We all know Superman, right? Kryptonite. With all that power that man had, kryptonite was his weakness. In fact, I was thinking, I had to go to my hip hop days. My favorite rapper of all time said, "Man, I'm a sucker for love, Pac. What you won't do for love, right?" My other favorite rapper said these famous words: "I'm a sucker for cornrows and manicured toes." Some of us know that song, right? Right? That's his weakness. Yes, yes. Right? But in real life, your weakness might be food. Anybody want to drop their weakness in the chat? I'm gonna take my time with this. Anybody want to drop their weakness in the chat? It might be food, right? For me, I was talking about it on the IG. Man, if you throw some wings in front of me, all flats, in a football game, good night. Ty say coffee, Melanie say food, right? Right? A lot of us, it's deeper than that. That'll be our surface weakness, right? Right? So what's your weakness? Food, coffee, what is it? Drop it in there. You know what it is. Sometimes you just got to call that thing out. Sometimes you won't even acknowledge. My sister said Target. Girl, right? Time management, sweet, affection, love, perfection, finishing something before moving on. Kendra, thank you for your transparency. Sometimes you got to, distractions. Sometimes we got to actually call out our weakness to know, yo, that's my kryptonite right there. Yes, yes, right? For some of us, it could be deeper than food. It could be attention. I'm addicted to the likes, the follows, the retweets. Some of us, it could be love. Some of us, it could be lust, right? Right? Some of us, it could be alcohol, acceptance. Thank you, JB. Our weakness is we want to be accepted, right? Some of us, like I said, alcohol. Oh man, I'm having a bad day. I ain't gonna be right till I get a little drink, smoke, whatever. Chocolate. There you go, Inez, right? Let's get deep right now. Today, I want to talk about a story in the Bible. I promise you, even if you started the Bible today, you know this story. No filter is your weakness. Ooh, watch out. Jessica gonna tell you something. Being abandoned and ignored. Abandonment, judgment. Thank you. Chips. Thank you. Right? Today, it's a story in the Bible. I promise we done all heard. We done all heard this joint at some point or another. Some of us didn't even know this story was in the Bible. Right? Here's what else is crazy. I was scrolling the streets of YouTube. JB, Joel, y'all pastors on here. I hardly ever, matter of fact, I can't even say hardly ever. I can't remember if ever I heard a pastor preaching on this subject. Can anybody guess what it is? When I say weakness, we think temptation. Nope, I'm not talking about temptation, not today. Right? Bible's better than Netflix. Let's go. Episode 1. Drop that in there. Bible's better than Netflix. BBTN. Episode 1. It's your first time on here. You about to love me today. You'll leave me today. Facts. Right? This series I'm gonna start since it's a two-parter. Thank you, JB. Big Saxy, what up, boy? I promise you, this joint is wild. Episode 1 so wild. We done talked about David and Goliath, right? It's so many different stories. One of these days, I'm gonna talk about Bathsheba. That ain't today though. But I'm like, it's some stories in the Bible. That's why my book called Bible Better Than Netflix, right? But before we even get into the story portion, because it's so much that you can break down from this joint, think about areas. We talking about what's your weakness, right? Think about areas in your life or even on your body that's weaker than some other areas. We can all say our hands, right? Some of us right hands, some of us left hand. I'm left-handed, by the way, right? Bathsheba, yeah, her, right? I'm left-handed, so I'm left dominant, right? Some people right dominant, yes, right? How many people can write with both hands, right? Right, I wrote this down. Think about writing with the opposite hand. I remember, JB, you remember when you broke my arm during the pandemic, right? You broke my left arm? And I was in the cash joint and I had to learn to write. I ain't gonna get on you, JB. I love you. I love you. But he broke my arm, yeah. Taking it to the grave. You know the story. Anyways, anybody when you ever broke your dominant hand? Agent said, oh Lord. Right? And you had to eat or write with the other hand and you trash with that joint. Man, Ty, I thought you was on my side. Whatever. Right? Not the JB story. Right? But you know, I'm left-handed. I iron.
I'm interrupting. Thank y'all for being on my side, man. Get off my case. Tell the truth, bro. All right, I'm done. You in this lead thing. Go ahead, bro. I'm done.
It's my story. I can tell it like I want. Anyways, I'll tell some of y'all new people the JB story. Pandemic, the boy broke my arm. We had to sit outside the emergency room because we couldn't go in. Everybody freaking out about COVID, and it's all JB fault. Sorry. Anyway, what was I? So think about this: when you messed up your right foot or your dominant hand, or if you do like this, you know which eye dominant, and you got to use the other one, right? And then you forced to use it, and then you start getting better at the joint, right? I started getting better even with my right hand, right? And then my left finally heals, and I go back to using my left, and my right go right back to trash. Yes. Y'all ever had to try to do something with the opposite, right? Or think about an area in your life that you really good at, right? And this area you're not so good at. Then you start focusing on this area, and it start falling off, and then you go back to it, and this go back to trash. Yes. There's an old saying, y'all know it. If you don't use it, you will lose it, right? I wrote this and I put this in bold. This is a good point right here for the day before we even get into the Bible. No matter how strong a part of you is, whatever part of your life you want to talk about, you will always be limited by your weakness. So what makes you weak? No matter how strong you are, Big Saxy, Adrian, right? Kendra, Joe, Phil, you're going to be limited by your weakness. Yes. Right? No matter how strong you are, you'll never be above your weakness. So what's your weakness? Right? Right? I wrote this down, and I'm going to get into this story. I promise I am. This is one of the best stories in the Bible, I think. We don't already talk about it. But look, God can bless you, right? Anybody blessed with strength? Anybody blessed with singing abilities? Where my singers at? Anybody blessed with blazing speed? Right? Saxon, you talked about it, man. You play ball. You blessed with the gift of football. Anybody got a wicked jump shot? Where my hoopers at? Anybody got the gift of gab that can talk and convince people? Command the room? Anybody good at opportunities? Yes. Anybody blessed with a bunch of doors opening for them? This is my winning season. Everything attached to me wins, right? Right? But we all know if it ain't you, we all know a person that is tremendously blessed in a certain area that was brought down by that weakness. Ooh, episode 1. Episode 1. We all know somebody that was great in that area and brought down by their one weakness. You a hooper. Okay, Ty. Samson. Thank you, Jen. Episode 1. Samson's story is wild right out the gate. Anybody know the story of Samson and Delilah? Hardly ever talk about it in the Bible. I mean, in the church. Hardly ever. Right? Man, this story is wild right out the gate. Episode 1, the credits still rolling. It's going down. Turn your Netflix off today and just go to the book of Judges. Thank me later. You can actually say you spent some time in your word today, and people gonna be like, man, Mark has been in his word lately. This story is wild, right? Bible better than Netflix. Drop it in there, BBTN. Samson is the perfect story for this. What is your weakness, right? If y'all don't know, paraphrase before we start reading, God had a purpose for Samson. Yes, yes. He was supposed to be this big, strong military leader against the Philistines, right? God gave him the super strength. He was so strong. Thank you, Ty. You're right. He was so strong. Actually, they say he was the strongest character in the Bible, right? He was so strong, he killed a lion with his bare hands. Right? Go to Adrian Inez, drop Judges 14, 5 and 6. Right? I ain't even got to Delilah yet. That's why I told y'all from the credits, this story crazy. Episode 1, this one, wow, y'all, I'm telling you. Judges chapter 14, verse 5 and 6. Y'all need something to do today. Samson went down to Timnah together with his father and his mother. As they approached the vineyards of Timnah, suddenly a lion came roaring toward him. Right? Verse 6, the Spirit of the Lord came powerfully upon him so that he tore the lion apart with his bare hands. Boy was strong. Right? Basically, that's that story. Oh, but it won't be a good one without a plot twist. Episode 1 is the truth, right? He fell for his weakness, and y'all know what it was. It was bad chicks. I'm not on y'all ladies like that today. I'm saying, what's your weakness? I'm just using Samson, right? He fell for a bad chick named Delilah. By the way, Bathsheba, Jezebel, Delilah, Judas. But all the names in the Bible. Y'all know anybody with them names? I actually know. I went to college with a Delilah. Curtis, you remember Delilah? Anyway, all right, now that I think about it, where they do that at? Anyway, all right. He fell for Delilah. No man, somebody put Kim K, right? Delilah on radio facts, right? No man could actually defeat Samson. Bible, I mean, we never talk about this, right? But his weakness was them women, right? So I put this down. What area in your life, so you don't start thinking I'm talking about men versus women and women are a weakness. I ain't even on that, right? But what area in your life do you dominate, right? Happy birthday, Yvette. My auntie here. What area in your life do you dominate until Delilah shows up? Whatever your Delilah is. Think about it, it's rhetorical. What areas are you cold in the business room until, right? Are you great with money until, what areas show up? What areas do you dominate, right? The Philistines knew that they couldn't even get to him. I'm finna get to the story. Let's get to the story. Philistines knew they couldn't even get to him, so they sent her. And they said something about, girl, we're gonna give you some silver if you set that boy up. Episode 1, credits rolling, directed, written by the one. That's his name, right? Judges chapter 16, verses 15 through 22. Drop it in there. So y'all know I ain't making this story up. Promise we can make a movie out of this. By the way, Tyler Perry and Devon Franklin dropping a movie called R&B. I can't wait for it to come out as a Ruth and Boaz movie. I can't wait for that to come out. That's why we need to hurry up and get our Blessed Beats app so we can make our movies. Judges chapter 16, verses 15 through 22, episode 1. It going down soon as it starts. Here it is. Chapter 15 says this. Then she said to him, how can you say I love you? Maybe that's how she sounded. When you won't even confide in me. This the third time, my boy, you have made a fool of me, and you haven't told me the secret of your great strength. That's one verse. Sheesh. Verse 16. With this is Bible. With such a nagging, she prodded him day after day until he was sick to death of her asking. This is Bible. Verse 17. So he got tired of her and told her everything. Ma'am, no razor has been used on my head, he said, because I'm a Nazarite, dedicated to God from my mother's womb. If my head was shaved, my strength would leave me, and I would become as weak as any other man. Verse 18, boy, they get you every time, don't they, fellas? When Delilah saw that he had told her everything, she turned around to them Philistines and said, hey, y'all, we got him now. Come on back. He told me everything. He told me where the money at. He told me the code to his Facebook page is going down, right? Come back once more. He told me everything. So the rulers and the Philistines returned with the silver in their hands, hooked her up after putting him to sleep on her lap. Oh my goodness. She called for somebody to come shave that boy head. 7, count them, 7 of them joints. Cut off his head. Ty, they gonna go on ponytail this weekend, Ty. No, I'm just playing. Cut 7 braids off his head and began to subdue him, and his strength left him, right? Verse 20. Then she said, hey, Samson, wake up. The Philistines are upon you. He woke up from his sleep and thought, man, I'll go out there, shake myself free. But he did not know that the Lord left him. Verse 21, the Philistines seized him, gouged out his eyes, took him down to Gaza, binding him with bronze shackles. They set him to grinding grain in the prison. Verse 22, but the hair on his head began to grow back. I don't know, when we get scruffy, we get strong, right? After it had been shaved. Here's the reality. I told y'all that's verse. That's episode 1. As soon as the credits roll up, that's episode 1. Tell me, Bible ain't better than Netflix. Here's the reality. Some of the saddest word in scripture he did not. There you go, right there, JB. We on the same street. Here's the reality. You can live your life in a way and wake up and realize what JB just said. You can be living a certain way in your real life and wake up and realize God ain't even with, the Lord is not with you on this foolishness. This right here, I wrote down for anybody who always thinks God is sovereign, he forgives, he loves. Yes, but he cannot be with you on some of this stuff. Right? Anybody take God's grace for granted, that's for you. That boy woke up and found out the Lord was not with him. He had the strength he thought. Blessed be Bible version, Adrian. You can't live any old kind of way and think God gonna forgive you. Said it right there in the Bible. Samson had this weakness that always tempts us. My first point, mind you, this is a 2-parter today. The reason why we are weak, Shayla, Tammy, Phil, is because we get in our feelings, Melanie. First point, the reason why we weak is because we mess around and get in our feelings. Anybody ever been in their feelings? Tell the truth, straightened up. He already knew, watch this. In the middle of episode 1, or even before that, right? He already knew she was no good. She tried 3 other times. If y'all read it, she tried 3 other times to get him to tell her what his strength was. 3 times she tried. 3. He lied to her 3 times. Real story. First time she said, baby, tell me how you strong. He said, I tell you what, 7 strings. If you tie me up with 7 strings, man, I'll lose my strength. That boy went to sleep, woke up, tied up with 7 strings, Philistines all around him. He said, bow, broke him, killed all the Philistines. Remember, he killed a lion with his bare hands. Very next day, she said, baby, can you tell me the truth of how you lose your strength? He said, all right, I was just playing. If you tie me up with some rope, I'm gonna lose my strength. Boy laid his head down, went to sleep, woke up, tied up with rope. Fellas, just a note to you. Watch sleep with one eye open, my boy. Oh, I'm just playing. Woke up, Philistines all around. The boy broke out the rope, kill all the Philistines. Third time that boy went to bed. No, the third time she said, "Boo, for real, for real. You gonna tell me or what?" He said, "All right, if you braid my hair, I'm gonna lose my strength." Boy went to sleep, woke up, hair braided down. Ty said, "It's amazing how God will show us the enemy is trying to get us through our weakness." Big facts. Woke up, hair braided down, Philistines all around him, untied his hair, killed all the Philistines. Then he knew right then that girl was no good. You done went to bed 3 times, your enemy around you after you done told her your secret. Is there somebody in your life right now, if you wanted something to get out, you can definitely tell them and it'll definitely get out? Keep your eye on them, folks. Sometimes you might have to feed them something just to get the right information out. Yes, yes, right? He knew she was no good, but he was in his feelings because she's a baddie. Anybody ever had to, I ain't trying to get on relationship. Anybody ever dealt with somebody just because they, man, right? He ignored his facts that he saw what she was doing and kept her around in a way, kept on messing with her. Tammy said she was driving, but her weakness is her feelings. You play with fire, you get burned. Thank you, Phil. Here it is. She flipped the script on him that 4th time. She said to him, verse 15, as soon as the episode started, she said, "Man, babe, how can you say you love me when you don't even tell me your secrets?" He said, with such a nagging, she prodded him day after day until he was sick of it and told her. Sidebar, this for anybody, this ain't even on relationship, but if anybody ever come to you and say, "Man, if you love me, you will," that after that, you're gonna have to give up something. They want you to give up something. They want to give up your body, your money, your time, your a hookup, right? Somebody say, "If you love me," they want you to give up something, right? And I wrote this down. Having feelings, right? For Tammy, having feelings does not make you weak, right? But anybody on here that get caught in our feelings, when you override your feelings for the truth, that's when you weak. When you see it with your own eyes, right? When you see somebody really, who's this? Maya Angelou, when somebody show you who they are, believe them, right? I put this down. Marcus, the greatest damage done to you will never be a lie that somebody else tell you. Shayla, Melanie, Kendra, guard it. The greatest damage done to you ain't gonna be somebody lying on you or somebody telling you a lie. The greatest damage is the lie you tell yourself every day. When we just say it's my winning season, everything attached to me, I believe that. Like, I really believe that, right? The greatest damage is when you say, "Man, I can't do that. I can't go there. I can't do this." Or when you see stuff with your own eyes and say what it ain't. I was having a conversation with my sister. I said, when I look out the window, I say what I see. If I look out this window right now, I see a fence. Some people want to look out the window and say, "Man, it's a beach out there," right? Some people want to look at somebody and be like, "Man, they such a good, but they got a good heart. Man, this person is tormenting the world. They tormenting the world," right? This is when you see somebody on the news like, "Why they killed Junior? Junior breaking in houses, shooting folks." Yes, yes. The greatest lie, the most damage you're gonna do to you is the lie you tell yourself. Here goes some facts that people ignore. Right? The truth that you close your eyes to. That's a fact. Right? Sometimes people ignore the stuff God shown them because of your heart. Anybody ever been in a relationship with somebody that you know ain't trying to change, but you trying to change them, or you trying to give them and they ain't trying? I wrote this down. Yo, feelings change. Feelings change. Facts stay the same. In fact, if we got to go to another scripture, we always use this one because it's one of my favorite songs. We did it last week. Proverbs 3. Proverbs 3 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. Don't trust your emotions, Marcus. Don't trust your feelings. Don't trust your heart in the heat of the moment. Right? Trust in the Lord, AKA what the Bible say about that. Yes, yes. Right? When you feel like, here's some good Bible stuff. This off my nose. When you feel like you can't handle something, Bible says, what the Bible say? I can do all things through Christ. Right? What's another one? When you feel like, oh, this season gonna last forever, Bible say, weeping endure. What it say? Weeping may endure for a night, right? Job said he been there. Your feelings deceive you, just like Eve in the Garden of Eden. Thank you, right? Type this in the chat while we type and get out your feelings. Get out your feelings, bro. Man, that girl fine is all outdoor, but she straight up trying to get you 3 times, and you kept messing with her. Get out your feelings. Matter of fact, write this. It is what it is. Right? When it's time to go, it's time to go. I'm just gonna stick around a little bit longer. Okay. You see him beefing over there. You see him walking to the trunk. It's time to go, right? Right? We just said that if somebody show you who they are, guess what? Yeah, we really need to start believing people when they show you they're not trustworthy. When they show you they'll talk behind your back. When they show you that they ain't reliable to pick you up, when their word ain't what their word is, right? We need to start believing this stuff. Right? When something make you uncomfortable, guess what? You're uncomfortable. Stop sitting in that. You know what I'm saying? When somebody is a liar, guess what? They a liar. That's what you are. If you a menace, bro, they a menace. If God actually said, Marcus, open the business, bro, open the business. Get out your feelings of being scared, right? If God say, Phil, don't be afraid, yo, God said, don't be afraid. Get out my feelings. God gave us facts, man, not feelings. I wrote that. I'm gonna say this, and then I want to say something for part 2, for real. We can always, and we talked about it yesterday, we always talk about how slick the enemy is. I told y'all today was gonna be different. We can always talk about how slick and tricky the enemy is, but the enemy, and I'm gonna end with this one. The enemy will have us outside of the will of God by using our feelings, using love, right? It's the funny part. I actually thought about it this morning. I wrote this one this morning, right? Enemy will use love to get you outside of the will of God. That's how tricky he is. Love feel good, don't it? Anybody been in love? Hey, babe, cake it up, you know. Right? Here, by a show of yes, yes. By a show of yes, yes. Anybody on here, 20 of us, 19 of us, ever did something stupid because of love? Outside the will of God because of my love for this person. It's crazy because y'all thinking about the thing you did. All of us. Matter of fact, listen. Anybody ever did a ride-by? I'm just gonna pull up and see if anybody's there. Cause I love her. There not be nobody there, right? Anybody ever spent, fellas? Anybody ever spent the bag trying to impress her? Love, man, I love her. She good for me. Right? Burned up miles on I-10. I'm trying to tell you, right? Anybody gave a loved one some money knowing that they ain't finna pay you back? Me and my sister talk about this run rapid in our family. Shayla, I'm sorry, I'm telling our business. It run rapid in our family. Right? Think about it. Enemy that tricky, man, because you love them, you will be outside of the will of God. Real talk. My last one, I wrote this one, and I promise I'm gonna say the rest of this for tomorrow. I knew, but I still have hope. Boy, that enemy get you. It's right there in your face. Anybody stay in a bad relationship out of love. All we do is fight. All they do is take. All you do is take. All right? This person stressed me out till I'm losing weight. Anybody been there? Anybody been in a relationship? I ain't talking about today because we all in perfect relationships today. Anybody ever been in a relationship to where you can't trust them if you can't see them and you stick around? Enemy do that, man. Love. You doing all this stuff that's hurtful to you because you love them. All right. Bible better. That's episode 1, man. Let me scroll back because I don't even want to keep going. That's episode 1. Oh, tomorrow we're gonna talk about another reason. I almost want to keep going. We're gonna talk about another reason why we weak. All right, but the first reason why we weak is because we be in our feelings. Samson was in his straight up feelings with that girl. She bad. He like women. She done tried to get him 3 times. On the 4th time, she convinced him by pulling on his feelings. If you love me, he told her, boom, cut his hair out of there. On another note, he went to sleep every night. I ain't gonna go there. She put that boy down. All right, I'm done. Put that boy down so good. He, nobody would cut his head. But. All right,
that's the part I wanted to speak on, Marcus. When I sent a message that said, gotta give us the warnings before we even give in to the weakness. Because every time he told her something, she went back and responded to what he told her. And he was so blindsided of the warnings that God was placing before him. Like, look at what she's doing. Look at how she responded to you every time you give her an answer. And so sometimes we could be so blindsided to the things that we are weak of. And God, loving us so much, still will expose those things to us. And what we do, we silence, like we ignore it, or we silence out the voice of God because we're too busy trying to respond to that person. So it was just like, as you were saying it, I'm like, it's so many warnings that went before him that he could avoid any of that happening, even though God still got the victory at the end of the story. Yeah. Those were detours he could have completely ignored as all that went forth.
Don't tell the movie. Don't tell them about the end. Make them binge watch this thing. Right?
I'm not.
Right? As Big Zach said, she sent that boy night. Man. How you doing my hair this? Never mind.
I'm cutting it. I'm just playing.
Now, microphone is open, man. Tomorrow we'll talk about another reason that we be weak. But if y'all want to go ahead and binge watch the rest, keep reading. Man, that Judge is really, really good. I'm talking about out the gate, that mug good. So I started on that mug early yesterday, and I even woke up even early this morning trying to finish that thing. But microphone's open. Anybody on your weakness? And I know his was women, and I'm not saying it's got to be people every time. Your weakness, wait till tomorrow. Your weakness could be so many things. There you go. Anybody else? I mean, I'm not saying open the mic and tell everybody your weakness, right? you got to throw yourself on the mercy of the court, right? You got to do all of that. But I'm just saying, man, whatever. A lot of our weaknesses, without ruining episode 2, a lot of our weakness is because we're in our feelings.
I think my weakness.
That's tomorrow, Jessica.
My weakness is saying no. Hey, how you doing, cousin? Well, my weakness used to be saying no. I don't like to tell no one no. I want to try to do everything to please. I'm a people pleaser.
Me too.
And it got so bad until it was hurting myself, because I'm trying to do everything for everyone else and I'm neglecting myself. And then I had to go take it back and start praying and getting my word, and God just revealing stuff. okay, would you rather that person be hurt or do you want yourself to be hurt? I'm not trying to be selfish in these situations, but I also have to think about myself and my family that's around me. So I started saying no, not just to people, but also to my son, because I was one of those yes mamas. And it's like, it's so much better than saying yes all the time. Yeah, that was where I was at.
Listen, that might be episode 3, people pleasing, right? Because episode 2 going in, but you right, man. My people pleasers on here. I see you, Tammy, right? Like sometimes, and I'm me and Ty got into it one day, like, man, Marcus, you say yes to way too much stuff, right? And then to the point where you got bags under your eyes and you stress trying to fit, or you can't keep up. I'm talking about me. I can't keep a schedule. I got to cancel here and do that because I done told 3 people yes that I'll be there Thursday at 10. And I'm gonna be out of town. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Mel, I really feel you on that note. Sometimes as a people pleaser, my people pleasers will know this. Man, we can say no and we feel some type of way. Man, I feel bad for telling you no. Right? Thank you, Gardner. I did it just last week and we had to reschedule. You're also right. Right? So sometimes, man, you just gotta say, sometimes you gotta stand on that no, man, and just I'm talking about you ain't gotta be busy. Just no. Just practice that mug sometime. Get your shots up on no. Nope, nah, bro, not this time. Nope, nah.
It's crazy because sometimes people will play on that specific weakness when they know that you're so used to saying yes. They already have in their mindset, oh, he gonna say yeah. It's me. She gonna say yeah. They gonna do it. They always do it. They never.
Matter of fact, if y'all ever had somebody say, yo, go ask him because I know he gonna tell you yeah, or she gonna tell you yeah. Oh, that's episode 3. Oh, no is a complete sentence. Yes, I agree. All right, I'm done. Microphone open tomorrow, man. What makes you weak? Part 2, episode 2. Bring a friend. Binge watch that thing. We in Judges. Did y'all know Judges be there? Did y'all know these? Man, listen, out the gate, this joy. That boy said she was nagging me. I was like, God, no, I'm done.